saved it. The guy following him
away nice and early.
This is exactly what you spoke about, Robbie. With the team effort, this is the specialised team trying to put Rebecca Wysack under pressure, who is out there on her own. In fact, it's the attacker team, and this is Bree Wilson once again, who is going on the charge. Out at the front, who's launched an attack coming out of that corner. Pretty quick response coming from Bryony Maddox.
Well, we just saw that first acceleration.
Ticking all the boxes, Pete Murray.
That's what it's all about. Sport at its best. And, of course, this weekend, Noosa celebrates 36 years of sport in this beautiful area. And, of course, today it's all about the Australian Open Criterium Women's. And, Robbie, I tell you what, the crowds start to build up. The atmosphere gets electric, especially when we get into our male open race later on this afternoon.
It's good to see the crowd already building, and the accelerations are already coming in this women's field. And what you'll notice when they come out of the hairpin turn at the far end of the course, they're up out of the saddle, they're accelerating really hard back up to speed. The riders then at the front are able to sit down, relax somewhat. You look further back in the field, the ones in last 5 positions are still madly sprinting out of the seat to try and get themselves back on terms. It's that stretching of the elastic band, and it's that point of the course which proves really tough, and we'll see some riders get tailed off as the race progresses.
It's the UniSA team at the front, controlling the tempo, and sitting down towards the back, the woman that you just mentioned, number 7, Emma Chilton. She's looking pretty relaxed.
Oh, well, right at the back is Rebecca Wysack, number 1. So as they come out of the roundabout, big acceleration here from the Sydney Uni team, starting to stretch them out. And look at the pressure on at the back. There's a gap opening up for riders. One of those in third last position at the moment is Francesca Sewell, just riding themselves back into the slipstream, but the attack's continuing at the front.
Ironically, Rebecca Wysack, for the back-to-back Australian Criterium champion, she doesn't like these super tight corners. She won both times in Ballarat, where it's a really tough drag up to the finish line, and that horsepower comes into effect. But this corner is causing her a few problems.
And if you haven't ridden here before, it takes a bit of getting used to. You can go out in the warm-up and get a look at it and try and get your head around it, but it's really a small field. Later on, when we're watching the men's with a stacked field, it was a sold-out field. They will really be on the rivet coming out of there. The field stretches so long, you can't afford to get too far back. It's a race.
Robbie in second spot.
Yeah, Francesca Sewell, she's marking the move. So the teams with multiple riders are trying to keep the pressure on, get somebody up the road. So it's attacker, chased by Frankie Sewell, and the rest get themselves back on terms. Jamie Gunning, she's making sure she's riding attentively, but still down the back in last position of the field is Wysack. I think that she's riding for Emma Chilton, try and soften the field up, create a move that all the others need to chase, and just let Chilton take a bit of a back seat to maybe the second half of the race before she makes her move.
All right, this is the Australian Open Criterium for women. We do 30 minutes of riding, gentlemen, plus 3 laps. And we also have 1 preem in there, Matt, for the people out on the course. Let's explain what the preem is all about, Robbie. The preem, we've got 1 preem. Explain to the crowd what it's all about, the preem.
Well, the preems or the intermediate sprints, there's a bonus up for grabs. So when you hear the whistle when they come through, will mean the next time they come across the line, that prize is up for grabs. So there'll be an intermediate sprint. Whoever wants it the most, $50,000 for the winner. Back in, I think, 2009, something like that.
Huge. It's $5,000 for the win today. Rebecca Wysack, the Australian.
Now getting herself to the front and even just slowing them up, and watch her just kick out of the corner and see it stretching at the back, all up on the pedals, putting in a sprint to make sure they're staying in the wheel, getting themselves in the slipstream. In the meantime, Wysack, she'd only done about 3 or 4 pedals, and that's a great tactic around this circuit. You get to the front, you back into them in that roundabout, and then kick out. They see you kick out. They don't have time, because they're concentrating on themselves, to see you sit back down and relax. So they're chasing something that's not happening, but you've made them use energy.
Smart. Very smart.
Well, I reckon it's time, guys, to get Criterion champion for women as Matt and Robbie McEwen have mentioned, some world-class athletes in our field. And we've been racing now just on 12 minutes, so we won't be too far away, Matt, to our first preen.
The intermediate sprint will probably be close to the midway point, around about the 15-minute mark, and that's always an incentive for somebody that thinks, maybe I can't win this race outright, but I do want to pick up a prize along the way. Buy a little bit extra for dinner this evening.
All right, we look on our big screen. The Garth Proud Bridge brings them back over onto the final stretch of Noosa Parade. Right up there at the Smiley for Smitty team. The Garmin flags are flying, the VIP. Let's get ready to make some noise, folks. We've got some of the best. We can't hear you, Noosa. Make some noise.
The woman on the front leading them through the bottom corner. She's not just the dual Australian champion, but Rebecca Wyzak, who's now slipped to 5th place. She is a dual world champion.
Well, number 6 going out hard from the roundabout, Grace Brimton Markham. She has put the pace on. Last lap looked a bit like a consolidation lap. There have been a number of small attacks and then accelerations out of the roundabout. Everybody almost catching their breath. They may be waiting for that whistle to signal the preem that's coming up, but it never takes long in the Noosa Criterium for the next acceleration to come. And time after time, jumping out of those corners, it really starts to take its toll on the leg. Immediate sprints, because sometimes you get these cunning riders who will then follow the wheels of those sprinting for the intermediate sprint, use that as a lead out into an attack. So the people in the field who think, oh, they're just going to sprint, sit up and come back, it's that person who follows the wheels through and then goes on the attack. It's like they get 50 metres for free and then they go. And that sets up quite often the major break of the race. So you've always got to be on your toes and not trust anyone.
They're making their way over Garth Proud Bridge. How significant is that bridge in setting up for the final sprints?
That bridge is a really important marker. If you look up the road, you see how the road slings its way into the finish. So it drifts around to the right for the riders, back to the left. If you get yourself just slightly too far back, you end up getting cut off through the corners. Doesn't matter how fast you're feeling, there is no way past.
We've seen in previous editions, particularly on the run, because Robbie would never take a shortcut on the bike.
Well, there's rumours going around that our 2-lap run course is only going to go to a 3-lap shortened run course, so they won't have the opportunity, Matt, to jump the fence, so to speak, and get around nice and early. But I tell you what, folks, superstars all round coming up real soon.
Next time through, Robbie, they'll get the whistle to indicate the intermediate sprint will be coming the following lap that they go around. Cash prize up for grabs.
Yeah, that little bit of cash might go pretty well later on tonight down at the Noosa Surf Life Saving Club. A couple of little lemonades or so, but we'll hear the whistle as they come under the Lexus arch. And, of course, as Matt just said, 1 lap to the dash for cash.
Whistle is on.
Out of the roundabout, there's a little gap that's open there for the rider from Sydney Uni. That is Gina Ricciardo again. She was active early and she's going for the preem. This is all in.
This is a bold move, not a noted sprinter, so she figures, let's go long range. A quick reaction coming there, breathing down her neck.
That looks like
Jamie Gunning.
It was too. Gunning who's covered the move. Now this intermediate, that last 100 metres, as if it is for the win, to get a real handle on where they should be and when, which side of the road's going to open up, and very important, that gets really heavy.
Something like Inspector Gadget with eyes everywhere. And his head on a swivel. Now the battle, in fact, it's the teammates of Gina Ricciardo, and that is a solid win. It is Whitehouse winning that sprint comfortably with Reynolds in second spot.
That was a really big turn of speed. And you could see as they came through this final 150 metres how difficult it will be to pass.
But
and the move is on.
This is exactly what you spoke about. Matilda Reynolds, she was second in the sprint but did not sprint. Followed the wheels, got 50 metres for free, and now it's on.
It looks like, well, the winner of that preem coming through, which was number 17.